Oh boy, we gotta talk about the YCS Vancouver problem. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of the subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Oz content. All I have read over the last 24 hours is YCS Vancouver attendance is awful. Oh my god, did you guys see how bad the numbers are for Vancouver out here? Oh my god, this means that the format is awful right now. Do you guys remember a while back when we had a YCS in the middle of a hurricane, actively like a day off from the area? Part of the country was flooding that it was in, and you still had people go to that YCS, but attendance was down. It's almost like world events happen. Today on World Events Affect Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game, Air Canada has gone on strike. Can you believe that? An airline company going on strike to resolve some issues that the company has to either get better wages, better conditions, or to resolve some other issues. It's almost like these flights might have affected certain people. I've seen several people on my own Facebook timeline that said, oh, well, there went Canada for me. Hanko Chow was one of them. I was rooting for Hanko this week. I didn't even get the chance. You know, it's very unfortunate that, your attendance is being pinged for this. And then, all I'm reading from people online is going, well, most of these YCSs have had increases in attendance. And, Vancouver just had a major downside of attendance. Oh, the boardroom meeting at Konami is going to be looking at this and being very, very upset. Well, first of all, maybe a little bit of a decrease in numbers is a good thing for the community right now. Maybe you're finally going to get the chance to kind of communicate things that we want change. But here's another problem with this. All I've been reading from other people on the internet is how happy your content creators are with this format right now. You got several of your big names that have recently gone, oh, hey, Yu-Gi-Oh's not dog shit, people. Yu-Gi-Oh is fun right now. You got yummies, you have all of this, and, these players are happy. And you're going to look at YCS Vancouver here, and you're going to have people looking at these numbers. So the problem here is they're going to compare, people are going to compare attendance to this, and they're going to go, oh, this format's messed up, man. Nobody wants to play this format. And they're going to compare that, and Konami's also going to do the same thing. This is actually kind of the worst thing here. Konami's going to psychoanalyze these numbers, this drop in attendance, and they're going to go, oh, people aren't happy with the format. We gotta do something about this. There are correct messages that need to be sent right now. A lower attendance when an airline goes on strike, either causing major delays in flights, people not even being able to show up, and major swings in attendance. Konami's aware of this, and I hope that when this translates over to that big boardroom meeting here, that they're, not striking down the format in disbelief and going, oh, this format, the community's not really happy with this. When I have 1, 2, and 3 over here going, oh, this format's great, you guys positively, it's also really cool. When you're content creators, those of us that are happy with the format, we express our issues. Though people do watch my content when I'm poking sarcasm at other things, and they seem to directly take that as me being upset with the format. No, just because I might not be happy with the format or something like that. I read these extreme polar opposites, much like this right now. Actually, that's the thing that really, really caught my attention today, was just how much negativity were reflective of the numbers for the attendance for the event. Why are you upset? Just not even a month ago, you're like, oh, I hope people stop going to events out here. I hope they really stick a message to Konami. Yeah, teach them that nobody wants to travel to stupid events until they get better price support. We get better price support. And all I hear is, oh my God, people still are not going to events. But I'm no longer hearing the message. It's just, oh, nobody wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh right now. We jump from the argument of nobody wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Price support's bad, the pros are leaving the game, to, people are, hey, we're all happy, we're playing the game again. This format's not as bad as we thought, to we're going, oh, numbers are bad, nobody wants to play this format. I swear this has been the last 3 months of this game, and actually the last 2 points of numbers are bad, nobody wants to play this game, to people are playing this game, it's a fun format. These have both been viewpoints in the last 24 hours from extremely opposite polar sides of the community. And I'm loving it. Now, in terms of what we're expecting out of this YCS, Yummy and Draco Tail, and even our other friend Canine. So I do want to say we've seen a major Draco Tail revolution happening in the TCG right now. I will say, for those of you that have been seeing, well, Robbie, there's been a lot of regionals with, Draco Tail. It's really been up and coming. I agree with you. I've seen a lot of data telling me that players are looking at this deck right now, and this deck is really getting a chance to shine. But if you've looked a little bit more into that data, you're going to notice in a lot of these places, the deck is only getting top 8s. And what I mean when I say top 8s, the deck is having a little bit harder of a time breaking into the top 4. Usually you'll have a couple of first, maybe seconders running around, but more so or not, in a lot of these events, I've been seeing more Draco Tail in 5th through 8. Anything else? Don't get me wrong, all right? Draco Tail's revolution has been a good thing. And we're going to encompass this into the problem side of things right now, because it's caused all these prices to rise. You've got a lot of people that have been kind of upset that they didn't pick, I know, right? Community upset because they didn't pick up the deck that was dog shit, according to most of the opinions of people that were reading. People were like, oh, hey, this is bad. I'm not going to spend $40 on this. I'll pick it up when it's 20. And then one card hits $20. And everybody's like, ah! Lost my voice there for a second, God, that hurt. That's the problem with this community. You have people making the bad calls going, I'll pick up the dog shit deck when it's, when it's worse off. And then it's like, no, that deck was like rogue for a while. It was like the best deck in Japan. And then Vanquishal Canine entered the arena and kind of punched things around, which forced a shift around in the meta with Yummy kind of coming up too. It's where you're seeing the same thing here. Now, once all things said and done out here post Vancouver, I do expect to see Draco Tail probably will be in the top 5. And, you might even have people buying things out come Monday. That's another thing I want to point in here to those of you. There are a lot of people betting this weekend that Yummy is going to get bought out on Monday morning or Sunday night. I just want to put this into perspective with you. There is a pretty decent chance that could happen. A lot of people like to wait for tournament data on the bigger scale, even though we've been looking at regional data for weeks now, and we have a pretty big picture as to what's going on in this format. Come Sunday night, Monday night, I'd be watching the market. I would not be surprised to see something swing in another direction, and a lot of people are going to be very upset about it. I don't know if Dragon Tail cards can go even further beyond right now, but this is all part of the YCS Vancouver problem right now. You got people swinging, at one side of attendance, screaming that the format's worse off. You got Draco Tail cooking right now in the background. That could just be one of the craziest revolutions you're going to have. And you got other people that are watching prices very adamantly, getting ready to watch some sort of mystical swing that's going to sway the pendulum of this market into a different direction. It's a nothing burger problem. It really is, man. This is the mystical ballroom meeting of Konami execs that happens is something that none of us will ever get the chance to see or experience. But the fact that we are painting this picture and we are seeing that the attendance is lower because of a world event that's happening, it's just important to bring this to people's attention, because I guarantee a lot of people aren't going to know that Air Canada went on strike. They're going to be like, oh, so that's why numbers are down. Yeah, it is. Strange thing, right? Things happen in the world. Who would have guessed that? Now, we live in a very small community. We're just one piece of a small ecosystem of the world. It's very hard to understand that other things happen. But, is what it is. You guys keep a smile on your face today. Have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.